Welcome to Deep Roots, Open Skies, a podcast dedicated to exploring the defining moments that shape our lives. I'm your host, Lykesia. I'm from Bama, what you know about me. Ever thought about how your roots shape who you are? Again, welcome to Deep Roots, Open Skies. I'm Lykesia, and today we're unraveling the colorful tapestry of my life in this episode, my story and what defines me. Get ready, folks. We're going on a journey. So here you have it, Montgomery, Alabama, the birthplace of the civil rights movement and the backdrop of my life. I mean, you can't get more Southern than that, right? I came into this world as a shy little girl with a brother just a year older. We weren't exactly rolling in dough, but trust me, you wouldn't catch us complaining. My parents were hard workers. My mom was a teacher, and my dad supervised the company department, instilling in us that can-do spirit. Now I want to throw a little Harriet Tubman flair in here. Don't you tell me what I can't do. That's the attitude that fueled my upbringing. My parents made sure we understood our worth and stood firm in our beliefs. And let me tell you, growing up in a spiritual home surrounded by family was like being wrapped in a warm blanket. Church was our second home, and if you went there, chances are you were related to someone. Talk about a family reunion every Sunday. Coming home after church growing up, I used to pretend to be a Baptist preacher. I'll set up my own little communion in my room, complete with the whole 9 yards. Those were such good memories. But let me tell you, life wasn't always a walk in the park. When my brother got braces, I felt a twinge of jealousy. So in classic sibling rivalry fashion, I lied and claimed I couldn't see well while reading, which gave me headaches. Next thing I knew, I had glasses. But here's the thing, I never really wore them. I was a shy kid. I prefer the company of my brother and his friends over large gatherings. My playtime? Oh, it was something special. Imagine this, Barbie and Ken with a side of dinosaur and Mr. T drama. You'd think I was running a soap opera for dolls, but here's the thing, I never witnessed the drama I created through child's play in real life. Maybe those sneaky movies I watch were my inspiration. Looking back, I realized I had wonderful parents who did the best they could. I often wish I had the confidence to speak up more. But my quiet nature taught me to be observant. You know what they say, nice people often get taken advantage of, and boy, did I learn that the hard way growing up. That story goes for another day. Now let's talk about school. I went to a private school conveniently located right across the street from where I lived. My brother and I walked there together from preschool to 6th grade. Those were great years. I met lasting friends, and every day when I went home, we were greeted by our 2 German shepherds, Fred and Topper, running towards us like we were the best part of their day. But not everything was glorious and bright. At 9 years old, I almost drowned doing swimming lessons in 6 feet deep water. Talk about a traumatic experience. To this day, I still can't swim and have no desire to get anywhere near deep water. Another experience, there was this boy named Michael who loved to cause havoc. He would pick on me relentlessly, which would send me crying to my brother for help. Bless my brother. He was always there to protect me from Michael and other life incidents. These, however, became my first signs of anxiety, but I didn't know that then. Truth be told, my brother was the first to spoil me. So every guy that came into my life had to come correct. He cooked breakfast for me every morning before school. Did you hear me? I said he cooked breakfast for me every morning before school. But do you know what I did? I messed that up by screaming at him when he called me to the kitchen for breakfast. That was the last day he ever fixed my breakfast. Lesson learned. Throughout my life, I've encountered many positive and negative influences. My mom has always been a supportive influence on me in my career. She allowed me to strive and fail, which has helped me become the person that I am today. However, not all experiences were positive. For example, when I was in 7th grade, I had a negative experience with a teacher. I didn't understand geometry, and while she was explaining a problem, I raised my hand in the middle of her explanation. She got upset and threw an eraser. Fortunately, it didn't hit me, but left me with a negative attitude toward certain teachers. Ironically, I became a teacher myself. I later knew that I would not be that kind of teacher. Later in life, I also didn't have a good experience with one of my principals. But even that principal couldn't make me give up. The experience ultimately made me stronger, and I received rave reviews from the central office and the superintendent, proving that what that principal tried to do did not work because of the strong background I came from. Growing up, my family on my mom's side would meet up on holidays. My mom would host Thanksgiving gatherings, which I believe has become my favorite holiday because of this. I absolutely enjoy the season from Thanksgiving to Christmas because it shows people at their best and the kindness they show. As I started my own family, we would take a drive from Michigan to Alabama throughout the year to celebrate and spend time with relatives. I also cherish special moments with my family during Kwanzaa, and this is with my own family, where we focus on community and togetherness, reinforcing those values that have always been important to me. Leaving that security blanket of private schooling to ride a school bus to middle school, that was a rude awakening. Suddenly, I was in a larger school, feeling overwhelmed with the pressure of finding friendships and a sense of belonging. I often describe those middle school years as the dark ages. Coming from a private school to a public school was a tough transition, especially since I was still trying to figure out where I fit in. I was a skinny, shy person, and while I enjoyed playing basketball with my brother's friends and a couple of my best friends, my mom had her own thoughts. Every time I was outside playing, she'll knock on the window to tell me to come inside, giving me the impression that I wasn't supposed to be out there with all those boys. I was meant to be inside, probably doing something ladylike. I think I despised that. I guess she was getting me ready to become a debutante, which I was part of. Despite those challenges, certain experiences helped me develop my confidence as I navigated my school years. I found ways to build my confidence. My mom was an amazing supporter. She made sure I learned to play the piano. From 4th grade to 7th grade, I walked up the street for lessons. Even when I missed practice, I had my own piano in my bedroom. I often wished I believed in myself like my mom believed in me. And just when I thought my musical journey had ended, my mom signed me up for voice lessons when I was 16. She said this could give you something to fill in those gaps when your money is tight. Give you something to fall back on. At that time, my favorite artists were Prince, Whitney Houston, Luther Vandross, Anita Baker, Janet Jackson, and I love me some Angela Winbush. Those were magical moments when we would dance around the living room watching music videos and trying to mimic the moves of Michael Jackson. It was a fun escape. As I got older, certain songs began to resonate with me on a deeper level. I remember understanding Luther Vandross's song, Any Love, as a young adult. But over time, I've learned to embrace the empowering message of Mary J. Blige, Just Fine song. It reflects my journey, realizing that despite the ups and downs, I'm doing just fine and I'm ready to take on whatever comes next. And then came the big decision, college. Initially, I thought I wanted to study political science, but that quickly changed to physical therapy. However, the list to get into a particular pre-med college was long, and I found myself stuck just trying to decide. My mom saw I was getting too comfortable on the couch and said, "You need to make a quick decision." So I decided to pursue teaching in elementary education. Check out my episode on HBCU Vibes Only about my college story. After getting my bachelor's and master's degree from the same university, Alabama State University, I actually met my husband there. Isn't it funny how life takes you on an unexpected path? 1 minute, you're playing preacher in your room, and the next, you're shaping young minds as a teacher and finding love. Speaking of love, let's not forget how my journey as a wife and mother has shaped who I am today. Balancing family life while pursuing my passions has been a beautiful challenge. My husband and I have had our fair share of adventures, like the time we decided to try cooking a fancy dinner together. Let's just say the smoke alarm became our sous chef, more from his end because he didn't belong in the kitchen at that time. I'm just saying. But it taught us that teamwork is essential, especially when you're in the kitchen. If we can survive that chaos, we can tackle anything life throws our way. Well, we wish marriage was this easy. For any household, you have your ups and downs. My kids have taught me so much patience, resilience, and the importance of laughter. It's incredible how they inspire me every day to be better. I am truly thankful for them. Now let's talk about something personal. I'm an introvert. I often prefer being to myself, but I do enjoy the company of family and close friends. I might give the appearance of being a little odd because of being around different people can cause discomfort for me. I believe I do have a form of social anxiety. So when my husband, who is involved with everything and everybody, expects me to be present for events and gatherings, if you see me there, know it took a lot of courage and strength to get me there. I might look sociable, but it's a challenge for me. You see, I've held leadership positions during my career, owned businesses, and taken on many responsibilities that might make it seem like I'm together in the social department. But professionally, I can separate my feelings and represent any company well. I am that talker and representative. But now don't get me wrong, I like to be around people and love to have a good time, but I do prefer small, intimate settings. When I was younger, I wanted to be a lawyer. I appreciated the career since being introduced to a law awareness program. My first job was at 16 at a Waffle House. I was a waitress and didn't know what I was doing. My mom didn't want me to have a job, well, at least not at Waffle House. She thought I shouldn't work well past the evenings, but I wanted the extra money to buy clothes. It's not like my parents bought me the clothes that I liked. It was mostly what my mom wanted to see me in. However, my style was a little different. When I saw Lisa Bonet on The Cosby Show, I knew I found my style. So let that sink in. If you can recall how she dressed, you would know that it was not a traditional fashion sense. I only lasted at Waffle House for a few months because I couldn't handle the way the truckers and the rude undertones of older men approached me. I definitely didn't need to be there. She was right. But it did lead me to my second job in the mall because they said if I could work at Waffle House, I could work anywhere. My beginning instilled a great foundation in me and what I was to become. Watching my dad go to work every day and not miss a day of work showed me his work ethic. My career reflects my dedication to teaching and molding young minds. I taught in elementary school for 23 years, where I was an integral part of the principal's leadership team and served as a grade level representative for 27 teachers. My leadership led to many school improvements in math and reading areas. I also had the privilege of being an academic transition teacher at a university in Georgia, providing instruction for inclusive post-secondary education program, IPSE. I started a tutoring business that became a staple in the area. As the only African-American or Black-owned tutorial company in the city, I helped many children from underrepresented backgrounds succeed in their educational pursuits and employed amazing tutors. Volunteering has always been my power. I've always believed in giving back. I volunteered for teenage girls, advising and mentoring girls ages 7 to 18 who were severely disturbed emotionally and behaviorally, particularly those who had been victims of sexual trauma. I also volunteered with Big Brothers and Big Sisters, serving as a role model and helping young girls navigate life's challenges to realize their potential. Additionally, I volunteered for Junior Achievement STEM Summit, where I taught junior achievement students essential business and financial strategies. I believe in giving back. I am a servant. Currently, I'm a faculty member in higher education with an online university where I provide adult students with one-on-one attention to help them complete their degrees. All of this while maintaining a family. As a woman, I found that some of my dreams and ambitions had slowed down as I allowed my children's development and my husband's career to progress. There were moments when I felt like I couldn't finish many of my goals because I was focused on supporting my family. You see, it's a balancing act that many women face, where the desire to pursue your own dreams sometimes takes a backseat to nurturing those of your loved ones. Now let's discuss my personality type, NITP. I learned to discover my personality type from one of my daughters, who is pretty deep in this stuff. Being an NITP, I'm insightful, intuitive, thinking, and perceptive. I love exploring new ideas, analyzing complex problems, and connecting seemingly unrelated dots. You see, I thrive on discovering deeper meanings and enjoy a good intellectual challenge. As a thinker, I appreciate logic and structure, which is why I often enjoy solving puzzles, real ones, not just the metaphorical kind. It's like being a detective in my own life, piercing together clues about people and situations. Maybe that's also why I like to watch crime shows. I can go to sleep on Forensic Files, Snapped, or Cold Justice. As an NITP, I tend to be more independent and value my space for reflection. I might not always be the loudest voice in the room, but that doesn't mean I'm not heard. In fact, my quiet observation often leads to some of the most profound insights. And when it comes to decision making, I rely on logic and analysis. But I'm also open to the nuances of human emotion, and with that, I can be a little free-spirited. Embracing my personality traits has helped me navigate both personal and professional relationships, allowing me to understand myself better and connect with others on a meaningful level. Speaking of growth, let's talk about my future aspirations. I plan to continue advancing in my career and business ownership. I thrive on growth and nothing less. I want our community to prosper. I'm hoping to travel abroad for further exposure and self-discovery. I believe that stepping outside my comfort zone will only help me grow more. So as we wrap this up, I hope you've gotten a little glimpse into who I really am. From my beginning roots to my quirky childhood, each piece has shaped my journey. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Deep Roots, Open Skies. Until next time, embrace your journey and keep exploring the possibilities.